of Shortcuts for Your Soul. It is Wednesday, December the 29th. This is our last week of 2021 doing Shortcuts for Your Soul. And today I have a group with me that call themselves The Silence. And when I queried them about that, they said it's not so much about the name as what the silence is as a mechanism to actualize your divinity, to get to the self that you are and not the self that you are not. And we're going to give a couple minutes for people to come on as I get a few things set up here. Good morning. I hope everybody's enjoying the holiday seasons. The days go pretty quickly. Good morning, Drusilla. How are you today? It is a brand new, beautiful day. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Allison. Christina. Hi, Trist. Good morning. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen. So this group, The Silence, they said it's not so much about who they are as the function of the word silence. Its function as a mechanism for restoring yourself to who you really are and not who the world has made you into. There's a lot of confusion between yourself and your mind and the world around you. And they said that confusion can only end in silence. Confusion ends in silence, they said. I find that quite fascinating, that our confusion ends in silence. Yesterday I got an interesting email from somebody who is a subscriber to the channel. And several weeks ago, she had mentioned she had some really difficult times with problems in her life. And she was given an activity of cutting out all television. They told her, do not watch television, do not engage in anything that's based in fear. And this is a person that had difficulty sleeping at night. And I get a message from them yesterday saying that they've stopped watching television, they've stopped watching the news, and they're actually sleeping at night again. And I think that's pretty amazing. Which brings us to today, where silence is a mechanism to restore yourself to who you really are. Most of you believe that the world of your senses is more real than the world of your own being. But if you understood that the world of the senses is an extension of being and not the source of being, being is the source for all that you perceive. The idea of losing yourself to find yourself seems contradictory from the way the words are formulated themselves, but let us assure you that there is no contradiction when there is silence. There is a different you that you are aware of as awareness that is different than what you think of yourself as a personality, as an individualized physical form. There is a simple way to restore silence to your soul. Pull your attentions away from this world. Go within and be in silence. Let your thoughts subside. Let your memories be still. Let all considerations of your future be put in abeyance, that you may actually be present in yourself as what you are and not what you believe yourself to be from the definitions imposed upon you by this world. The self that you need to lose is the self the world has made you to believe that you are. That is the self you must lose to find the self that you are. There is a distinction very clearly, energetically, between what the world has made you into believing you are and what you actually are. It is simple that you could quiet your mind and remove all distractions from around you to go within to that silence, to pay no heed to your body, nor your thoughts, nor your memories, nor any distraction of this world, to close the gates of your temple, to be still, and know what thou art. But many of you live in segregation from yourselves, seeking to find completion in that segregation by acquiring more of the world. This will not work. But if you surrender the world, you will have the world. You are at this place not by chance that you would consider this process of surrendering what was to what is. The new year ends, the old self ends, and a new self begins. And this is not about the world, it is about your being. You may surrender all of those things that the world has conditioned you to believe are necessary to be that you are, and we will agree in small part to that, in that self that you have as that body is not you, but the instrument. But in silence, you will know yourself. And you will find yourself not in what the world has made of you, but you will find yourself in what that which made you to be in silence can be seen and heard. It is not of this world, but it is in this world. And you know it is in this world because it is beating your heart right now. It is allowing you to see, to smell, to touch, to taste, to hear. But it is not what you see and smell and touch and taste and hear, but it is here nonetheless. Would you dare to place yourself in silence? Would you dare to place yourself in silence? To recognize what you are not and to reveal what you are. You have been told that you cannot stop your mind from thinking, and we will completely disagree with that statement. You are able to completely stop your mind from thinking. It does not stop you from being aware. The distractions of your mind to your awareness onto one thought or another or a memory, the distractions of your mind, when they are released, restore you to yourself. Can you consider listening to silence? And if you can consider not having any thoughts, not having any memories, if you can consider not being concerned about the future, then you will come close to getting an understanding of where all of this started from, what you call your life. Where did you originate from? The body we know originated from the womb, but your awareness did not, although it functions through that medium. When we came to impart this simple idea that you must lose yourself to find yourself through silence, that is only in that place where you can turn your mind off, and only you may do this. There is no other that can turn your mind off for you, that can stop your thoughts for you. You may find a guide or an instructor or a teacher that may show you steps, but you must take them. But in silence, the last great step is revealed all things to you. But you will be so tempted to come back to what you already know from this world. But if you can rest in this silence, but for a few minutes even, to feel the great relief when the burden of the world is off your head, when you have taken your head and put it aside and restored yourself to yourself. It is very simple, but the process may be challenging for some of you that are so attached to the identity that you think is who you are, will be greater or lesser from one to another. But even as you hear us speak, would you dare to be silent? To not try to interpret, to not try to consider, but simply just to be awareness, to feel the vibration of your being independent of thought and memory, to feel the vibration of your being independent of thought and memory, independent of your 5 physical senses. The liberation of your subjectivity to these leads to the liberation of the self to these other senses of what you would call clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, functions of the soul that are not functions of the flesh, what you would call intuition, or knowing, or comprehending outside of what you already know. This self that you truly are, that has its own senses, that can be realized and applied to this world very differently than the world has been applied to your senses of the body. What the world has applied to your senses of the flesh have made you into a personality that's limited in the scope and capabilities of what you are able to be and do. In silence, just in silence, to begin the process of resurrecting yourself, of rising up from the death of the flesh, the old self, the personality that keeps you ensconced in an illusion of a body that you are directing, that you can't even see that you are where you are directing it from. But the body is not more real than what you are. Without you, that body does not exist. But we came here to specifically convey but one idea: to spend every day for at least a few minutes in silence, exclusive of your thoughts, exclusive of your memories, exclusive of future considerations. What a delight you will encounter when you do not have this going on anymore, when you can turn it off like a television or a light switch. You can turn off thought. All of you can do this. It is the beginning of your birth. The second birth comes when the old self is buried. And we do not mean buried in the ground. We mean buried from your awareness. It is put asleep and you awaken. You awaken yourself in silence, not in thought. In that silence, you may receive thought from another, other than that of this world. There are thoughts that can be conveyed to you in silence that do not originate from the world of the senses. There is available in silence a world that is not available to your senses, but only available to you as the awareness in silence. Remember, silence is eternal and infinite, and the space that it occupies is all places, spaces, and times. Silence moves around all that is between thought, around the flesh, between the molecules in your body. There is silence. You will be resurrected in that silence, and the name that is yours will come to you. The name that is yours will come to you in silence. It is not the name that this world has given to you. You will only find yourself when you lose yourself. And you must lose yourself to find yourself. these thinking and consideration processes you have going on almost incessantly in your conscious waking states throughout the day, if you but shut them off, something else begins to awaken. When one is put to sleep, the other awakens. And you attempt to do this each time you lay that body to rest. You attempt to put the old self, you attempt to lose yourself, to find yourself, and you come back through this world of the astral realms into that body, remembering dreams that are, again, the mind's way of filtering and refashioning you back to this reality of the five senses. And so, as so many of you cannot do this when you put that body to rest at night, you may do so anytime during the day to sit in silence, to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful, to the extent where you realize you are still aware, independent of your thought, independent of your body, that you can exist and do exist independent of them. It's just that most of you are not conscious of this fact. When the flesh ceases to function, you've forgotten who you are by that time, and you believe you are that body, and you believe you are those memories. And this is how so many come back stuck in what was and not what is. But we would say to you, as you draw your old self to a close for another of your years, that you be willing to surrender it to silence, to spend time in silence, to pull your attentions away from this world and go within, turn off your televisions, your radios, turn off the distractions and find silence. Lose the self that this world has made you to believe you are and find the self that you always have been. It is fairly easy to do. If you begin the journey, there is a feeling of well-being. There is a feeling of well-being that begins to become perceptible to your awareness in silence. Consider this. As you begin to draw your attentions away from memory and thought and the distraction of the senses, there is a sensation, an awareness that becomes apparent to you, the perceiver, and it is good. And it feels better the more you are being that which you are and less of what you are not. Our goal is not to instill anything other than what is already there, that you are pure awareness, independent of your thoughts. Otherwise, how could you observe them? You're independent of your memories. Otherwise, how could you observe them? The observer is watching. It is not what is observed. But in that silence, as it grows, as you deepen yourself in silence, in a distractedless place where you are not distracted by this world, and you rest in that place of silence, your rest will be great indeed, and you will awaken in that restful place as you try to do with that body. But you come back from your journey and you throw on the suit without considering, who am I, before you have thought capture you in its web of endless considerations of time, space, and matter. In silence, you will find yourself. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Wow. I hope everybody's enjoying this day. It is a Wednesday. Hi. Hi, Drusilla. Hi, Jenny. Just looking for a couple of questions. There we go. Jenny's asking, what is the message from the awareness of being lead to that I am a grid keeper? Form and function are unique to each individual. Your essential function as a creator was very precise in your design, not simply in your creator's design, but you had a hand in this too. But we can only tell you that when you surrender yourself to that silence and you begin to awaken therein, you will have nothing to concern yourself with. You will know exactly what you are doing. You can use the term grid keeper. We would simply say that you love working with energy that is love. The love of love is your joy. The love of love is your joy. And if you want to call that love a grid, you may certainly do this. You may certainly do this. Question from Animo. I tried to inspire those in the prison of fear to remember they are loved, and now I'm experiencing their wrath. Any guidance moving forward? Would making a video of my journey be of service? They're saying yes immediately. Anything that does represent your freedom and you're willing to share that with others is always favorable in all of creation. What else could love be but favorable in all of creation? Thank you. I love that. This is going to be a very amazing new year for all of us. Question from Marjorie. Why did I get COVID again? What is the lesson I am still learning? The words vitality. They're saying you have not yet mastered vitality. You must recognize that vitality is life unobstructed in its expression. Vitality is life unobstructed in its expression. And that obstruction can occur in the physical realm. It can occur in the mental realm. It can occur even in the spiritual realm, obstruction. For you, it would be very important to consider qualities of energy that you bring into your body. That these qualities of energy that you bring into your body, that they do not obstruct it, but they construct it. That you can remove those obstructions by placing that within the form which is conducive to there being no obstructions. Putting life in the body, putting joy in the mind, putting play in the soul. These things are very powerful. But for you, we encourage you to release the obstructions from your body. Very important. It does not matter what you would call anything, a cold or a flu or an injury. When obstruction is removed from the system, there is something else that will take its place very rapidly. A process of what you would call instantaneous healing is natural from our perspective. You simply remove the obstruction. In your case, it is restoring love to your temple. Thank you so much. Great question, Marjorie. Question from Vertical. The business partner asked me to create custom pieces and they did not even order from. I wonder, is this the right business partner? They're just saying if you are wondering about that, you need to revisit some understandings that you two are not clear on. There are elements of understanding that are not put in place. It will not allow this to express properly. Who are you? This is somebody that's on your family side. They're not in form anymore, but they're saying that you need to put some more pieces in place of understanding. There's not a clear enough understanding between you and this other one. Yep. If you cannot get that understanding clear, then do not pursue this. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny. Question from Adam. Can I ask Archangel Metatron on why exactly does one need to ground as prerequisite before channeling? He's saying it's very important because you must understand that the electrical alignment of your body of itself is different than when it is grounded to the what you call the earth, to Gaia. The alignment, the harmonic between the flesh of the body and the flesh of the earth from a perspective of energy allows asynchronous information to come through from the higher aspect of Gaia and others connected to her. Grounding allows the system to be properly aligned electrically to the transmission of very specific energies. Although you may also align yourself to higher frequencies where lower frequencies are not able to be grounded to. That is, if you do not have a direct connection to what you call Gaia, the mother, then you may connect to the Father, what you call your Son, in space and time. You may bring in higher energies this way also. But to bring them down from heaven to earth is most delightful, for you will get something very different when the three are brought together. You, the Father, and the earth are brought together in a union of energy. Then what is expressed and what is able to be expressed is very different from that perspective. But it is either way you may choose to ground. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Great question. Question from Rudy. Is there any advice for me today? Any guidance would be appreciated. Thank you, William and all. Advice. I get this. Best advice for you today is smile. Spend your days smiling a lot. Like literally, go out of your way to smile today. Go out of your way to smile today. And just be in the energy, not of what you're projecting, but in the energy of what you're creating. Because when you deliberately smile, you change the energy matrix that flows through the flesh, right? Just that deliberate and intentional act, and then being able to maintain that energy. I think you'll have an exciting time. That's a great question. Thank you for asking it. Oh, you're welcome, Marjorie. One last question today. Yes, I got that. Thank you. Thank you, Daniela. Last question of the day. Am I at the right place for my call? Should I change platform to online? Well, I don't know who this is, but they're saying any expansion is good. And if you are uncertain about expansion, then it is best that you do it. Do not let your uncertainty keep you hidden in the closet of your fear, but let that fear encourage you to go where you have not gone before, so that you will be free in this. That you will be free in this. Wow. Well, I want to thank this group, The Silence. Spend whatever time you can in silence and watch what happens. It's really amazing what they're sharing with me. And I want to thank you guys for coming today. So on Friday, December 31st, we have Letting Go of the Past, a new forgiveness with the Ascended. And that'll be this Friday, December the 31st, New Year's Eve day. And letting go of the past with the Ascended. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday. Also, we got our Mediumship 103 program, which starts January the 8th. I look forward to seeing many of you there. Also, we'll be launching the Mediumship 104 program, which is called Transcendence. And that will be up on the website shortly for those of you that have taken the Mediumship 101, 102, or 103. Any one of those courses can make you eligible for the 104 program, of which we have a limited seating of only 50. Again, you'll be able to register for the course later today, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in our premiere of that program. The dates and all that information will be announced here on Friday. Also, on Friday, we'll be announcing the winner of my free reading on my Patreon and Patreons. Thank you so much for your support. I'll be announcing the winner for this month's free reading, and also announcing what we'll be reading through at our Patreons only live event on the 7th of January. I want to wish all of you much love and thank you for your support and your time, and have yourselves a wonderful and joyful day, and I will see you on Friday. Bye for now.